Good morning once again, everyone. Today we gather to honor our heroes, the millions of men and women who have given of themselves for the greater good. Veterans Day is more than just a day off of work and school. It's a day where we can unite as a community and as citizens of this great nation, and to give thanks to our military personnel for protecting our freedoms and our way of life. When President Dwight D. Eisenhower issued the first Veterans Day proclamation in 1954, he urged Americans to join hands in the common purpose of demonstrating our lasting gratitude to all who serve. Can I have all of the veterans in our audience today to please stand? Please join me in showing our appreciation with a huge round of applause. Service before self. These are the words that define every veteran here today, stationed throughout our country or abroad, who has proudly worn the uniform of the United States of America. Each one of you has sacrificed time away from your families and put your lives at risk in the defense of our nation. Through your service, you have displayed an unwavering love of this land and the freedom and the values that we hold so dear. But as we gather today to honor our veterans, let us not overlook the enormous sacrifices made by their loved ones. Military service is a shared responsibility for the millions of American military families whose lives are also changed forever. For these families, bravery and devotion extend well beyond the battlefield. Time missed, children being born, toddlers walking for the first time, celebrating milestones. All of these are given up in the name of patriotism. And we are just as grateful for the sacrifices you must make as well. Can all of the families of the veterans please stand and let's express our thanks to them. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join me as we bow our heads for the invocation given by American Legion Post 359 Chaplain Epledio Andron. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the California State Military Reserve 6th Cavalry Honor Guard, American Legion, and Public Safety Cadet Combined Color Guard.
Please uncover. Our Heavenly Father, we come humbly before you asking these blessings upon this ceremony. Certainly, this is the day which the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. Please cover.
We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Bradley Shoup of the Sons of American Legion and our national anthem performed by the Norwalk All-City Band.
Please uncover and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will have the American Legion Auxiliary Unit present the POW and MIA ceremony.
Those who have served and those currently serving in the United States as members of the uniformed services, as civil servants, and as contractors are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and internment. Let us take a moment to recognize our POWs and MIAs. We call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that some are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families tonight, so we join together to pay our humble tribute to them and bear witness to their continued absence. This table, set for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The single red rose in the vase signifies the blood that may have shed and sacrificed to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep the faith while awaiting their return. The yellow ribbon on the vase represents the yellow ribbons worn on the lapels of the thousands who demand, with unyielding determination, a proper accounting of our comrades who are not among us today. A slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of families as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. The chair is empty. They are not here. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors, to the open arms of a grateful nation. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember and never forget their sacrifices. May God forever watch over them and protect them and their families.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce my colleagues. Vice Mayor Margarita Rios. Councilmember Leonard Shyrock. Councilmember Tony Ayala. And Councilmember Luigi Vernola. Also joining us today is our city manager, Mr. Jesus Gomez. And we also have some very special guests with us today. Please welcome Norwalk La Mirada Unified School Board Vice President Ana Valencia. Oh, she's in one of our booths over to my left. Make sure you stop by and say hi to her. And from Little Lakes School District, we have our president, Mr. George Buchanan, Vice President Dora Sandoval, and board member, Mr. Richard Martinez. Thank you for joining us. We are also honored to have with us representatives from our local legislative offices. Please welcome from the Office of Majority Leader, Ian Calderon's office, Juan Carlos Guerrero. From the Office of Assemblymember Cristina Garcia, Evelyn Nuno. From the Office of Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ivik Solik. From the American GI Forum of California, Mr. Howard Hernandez. And from the LA County Fire Department, not only are we blessed and honored to have several of our firemen here with us today, we also have Captains Collier and Coulter. Let's give them a huge round of applause. Also joining us today are two of our former mayors of Norwalk, Mr. Gordon Steffenhagen and Mr. Bob Arthur. Ladies and gentlemen, this annual event could not take place without the help of the American Legion Post 359. This organization is an integral part of our city's veteran support system, and they also work very hard to make sure our youth appreciate the honor of service. I'm going to ask Ladies Auxiliary President Becky Bullard to introduce the Post service groups. Becky?
First of all, I'd like to introduce our Poppy Girl. This little lady is very, very special to us because she's in charge of all of our poppies. She's one of our juniors and is Miss Poppy this year. I'd like to read something regarding the poppies so that you understand how important the poppies are. The armistice remembering the end of World War II, or World War I, in Flanders Field. In Flanders Fields, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row and row. They mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely flying, singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, and loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Field. Take up our quarrel with the foe, you from the failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break the faith with us who die, we shall not sleep through the poppies grow in Flanders Field. Flanders Field was in France. This was a battleground, and why nobody knows, but after the war, when the spring came, the poppies flourished, and they were red. They had never grown there ever before, and they grow there every year since World War I, marking where the graves are of our soldiers that died and shed the blood, their blood for us. That's why the poppy is red. That's why our Poppy Girl is so important. Every year we have a new Poppy Girl. This year, Nadia Breakoff is our Poppy year. Will you please give her a hand? Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and honored veterans. On this beautiful morning, we are here to honor our veterans that have served the country and now serve our community as first responders, police, firemen, and doctors, still honoring the protect and serve oath they took while in service to our country. We thank you all for what you have done and for what you continue to do for us, helping to keep our communities safe so we can teach and raise the next generation to become leaders we will be proud of. We celebrate the 100th year of the anniversary of the American Legion. Next year, the 100th anniversary of the Auxiliary. Not only serving veterans and their families, but still working to build leaders in the community with the Boys and Girls State Leadership Program through our high schools. Yesterday, I had the honor of being on the battleship USS Iowa when they fired the 5-inch guns in honor of the veterans and the American Legion's 100th birthday anniversary. It sent shivers down my back. I can only imagine what it would have been like to be around when it was on the front line firing the 16-inch guns. My father served in the Navy in World War II, and it gave me great pride to be there for him and the other veterans that did service for our country. Today, I'd like to introduce the Color Guard. For the Legion, our post commander Floyd White, out of the U.S. Army. The Sergeant at Arms, Melissa Brekoff, which is a U.S. Army and also a dual member, not only with us. She's back there. She's waving. And our chaplain, Al Andrian. Were you Army? Navy. And our first Vice Commander, Frankie de Guzman for U.S. Air Force, who is also a dual member. She's around here somewhere. Okay. The auxiliary is 19th District Sergeant at Arms, Crystal Roma Reyes. Our chaplain, Lupi Anaya. And the captain of the Color Guard, and also that did the POW table because of her broken wrist, is Frances Powell. Sons of the American Legion is Jerry Evans, who's also our bar manager. The SAL commander, Bradley Scoop. Now, our priceless and precious, most precious gift that we have is our juniors that carried in the small flags. President is Desiree Alvarado. Secretary, and who also read the POW MIA, is Caitlin White. Chaplain is Gracie Franco. Sergeant at Arms is Nadia Brekoff, and also our Poppy Lady. Assistant Sergeant at Arms is Brianna Manley. And the leader of this proud group, our junior chairman, is Lori Altman. I have a couple of things I would like to leave you with. I found some prayers that I would like to leave you with. One, while we were home on our comfortable sofas, munching and watching TV, our veterans were fighting our battles. In situations we'd certainly flee. Whatever would keep us all safe is whatever they were called to do. Rough duties of every kind, protecting us, me and you. So when you see the vets, please thank them for their service and sacrifice. Be aware and always remember, for us, they paid a price. They walk the line so that we can be free. Some stay on U.S. soils. Some go overseas, all to defend our freedom and everything that freedom means. They do it without hesitation while giving up their dreams. When their time has come, they leave to go far away. They do it to keep all the monsters at bay. They give up their time, they give up their lives. They give up their families and say goodbye to their wives. We see them every day and walk on by. Many without a thank you, most without a hi. Many protest against what they do, all that they fight for. Many hold up signs as soldiers fall to the floor. You have the right to demonstrate, because all that they gave you, due to what they gave you, you give up. Due to all they give you, you have the right to live. The next time you walk by a soldier and don't even give it a thought, think of all that they did and all the battles that they fought. Please make sure you say thank you and make sure you're sincere, because they don't give a second thought and they do it without fear. Thank you.
And now, please join us as we pay tribute to all branches of our military during the service melody. All City Band, please. Thank you to our Norwalk All-City Band, and let's give them one more round of applause, these talented musicians and their director, Mr. Frank Hinoso. I don't know about you, but I was talking to Miss Rios, and that's one of our favorite parts of the ceremony every year. Gives me chills every time that part of the ceremony starts. So thank you for sharing, and thank you again for participating. We love seeing you stand up proud of your branch and all that you have done. As a reflection of the shared responsibilities of the military service and the unique role family plays, we are very pleased to bring to the stage 3 Pattison Elementary School students who will tell us about their experiences as children of service members. Please welcome one of my new friends, Mr. Zachary Soto, whose father, Staff Sergeant David Soto, proudly serves the U.S. Army, and Milani and Mia Sambrano, whose father, Petty Officer Michael Sambrano, serves in the United States Navy. Kids, come on up.
Hi, my name is Zachary. I am in 3rd grade at Pattison Elementary School. This morning, I will be telling you about an important veteran in my life. This important veteran is my dad, David Alexander Soto. He has been serving 20 years in the military. His branch is the Army. His rank is Sergeant First Class. In the military, he builds stuff like buildings and roads. His job makes me feel proud. When he is deployed, we keep ourselves busy, such as going to Disneyland, cleaning, and doing chores. It is also hard on us when he is gone because he isn't there to help. For my mom, it can be lonely because she is alone, but she has my sisters and I. Veterans Day is important to me because I celebrate my dad by drawing pictures. I would like to tell every veteran and their family to stay strong, and for those members who are still serving, thank you for your service and dedication to our true veterans. I would also like to thank the following soldiers who are currently deployed in Operation Inherent Resolve with my father: Lieutenant Colonel Martinelli, Major Lanson, Major Goldman, and Master Sergeant Santana.
Hi, my name is Mia and my sister's name is Milani. We are students at Patterson Elementary School. I will be sharing a very extra special veteran today. This extra special veteran is my dad, Michael Sombrano. Our dad has been in the Navy for 10 years. My dad's rank is an E5 for 5 years. His job is to work on the flight deck with the GP5 fuel. Our dad's job makes us feel proud and sad because he's always deployed. When he is deployed, I look forward to my dad's emails and FaceTimes when he's in other countries. It's hard on my mom because my mom has to do most of the work. On Veterans Day, we barbecue when Dad's home. This Veterans Day, we would like to thank all veterans for your service.
Let's give Zachary, Milani, and Mia another round of applause. As you heard, both soldiers are serving on duty, and we offer our most gracious thanks for their dedication to our country. Will the entire Sombrano and Soto family join us on stage for a quick photo? Council, please come forward. Sometimes we don't think how it affects our kids as much as it does, but it's so great to hear how proud they are of their fathers. So thank you once again, guys. The city of Norwalk is honored to be home of over 3,200 veterans. And although there are no words or actions that adequately express how grateful we are, we do our best to show the city's gratitude. The Hometown Heroes and Pets for Troops programs recognize service through the display of commemorative military banners and free pet adoption. We will also be looking to implementing a Veteran of the Month recognition program, giving us the opportunity to officially honor a military member during city council meetings each month. 1 year ago, our Hometown Heroes banner program was reinstated by the City Council. Banners bearing soldiers' names are displayed along major city corridors and after 1 year are presented to the honoree family. Today, we are proud to present these banners to 4 Norwalk service members. Council, please join me as we make these presentations. When I call your name, will each soldier and his or her family come forward? One of our sharp public safety cadets will be assisting us this morning. First, we have U.S. Army Specialist Justine Botalo Aragon. Justine? Next, please welcome U.S. Army Specialist Gilbert Arizate Jr. Gilbert? And now, please welcome U.S. Army Specialist Sandra Louise Garcia. It looks like we'll be making a special house call to Sandra and inviting her either to a city council meeting or we'll meet her in person to honor her. And finally, U.S. Marines Private First Class Nicholas Joseph Vera. Nicholas? The City Council and I sincerely appreciate your and your family's commitment for the service of all men and women in our country. Thank you once again. Now, our keynote speaker this morning is Senior Chief Master at Arms, Mr. Frank Medrano. Senior Chief Medrano joined the Navy Reserve in 1999 with his first command at the Law Enforcement and Physical Security Unit 0176 at Point Mugu. Following 9/11, Senior Chief Medrano was mobilized to active duty in support of Operation Infinite Justice Enduring Freedom, and has since been active in support of Noble Eagle, Iraqi Freedom, and other special assignments. Senior Chief Medrano's awards include the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, Navy Unit Commendation and Military Service Medal, and those are just the few that he has shared with us today. This particular veteran's dedication and bravery stretch beyond these worthy achievements into our little 9 square mile area of America called Norwalk. Senior Chief Medrano has also served with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for 15 years and has been an important part of Norwalk Station team since January of 2015. He currently works in the Patrol Division and serves as one of Station's terrorism liaison officers and as a first responder, first aid CPR instructor. Please join me in welcoming Senior Chief Master at Arms, Mr. Frank Medrano.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will tell you this is definitely an honor to be here amongst brothers and sisters, truly heroes. When I was asked to participate in today's event, I knew I had no other choice but to accept this privilege. There are over 3,000 veterans residing in the city of Norwalk and many who work in the city, such as myself. Veterans are stakeholders in this city, as we are a connected community, a diverse community. Indulge me for a moment to share with you my American veteran experience. My mother and father, along with my 2 younger sisters, came to the United States on our visitor's visa, looking for an opportunity and a better life. Well, unbeknownst to me, we overstayed just a little bit regarding the visa. Growing up, like most immigrant stories, I experienced some name-calling and less than appropriate salutations. My father was the income earner, while my mother had the tougher job of raising us, to include 2 additional members to our family, my little sister and my little brother, who were born here. It wasn't until I went into the Marine Corps recruiting office in my senior year that the sergeant told me, "You better have a talk with your parents before you try to re-enlist or enlist." As you can imagine, when I told my mother I went to the recruiting office to enlist, she turned a variety of shades of white and red. I told her what the sergeant said. At that point in my life, I felt like a man without a country or identity. I didn't legally belong to this country, and I didn't feel a connection to the other. I went through some tough times. I worked a variety of jobs, from cleaning pans at a chocolate factory and working various assembly lines. It's not until the Reagan presidency that we had an opportunity or a pathway for citizenship. I became a legal resident and subsequently a naturalized United States citizen. My rest of the family followed suit. My father is now a senior member of one of the largest spice companies in the U.S. Two of my sisters have master's degree and are also teachers. Another one works with a nonprofit foundation. Unfortunately, my little brother, who was a few weeks from starting the police academy, was a victim of a robbery while working at an armored transport company. He was shot 3 times to the back of the head and 3 times to the lower back. He survived. Though his injuries alter some of his physical abilities, he still enjoys life and enjoys seeing his daughter attend Biola University now and his son pursuing theater. After becoming a U.S. citizen, I knew I had to enlist and serve this great nation. I now became part of that American social contract, and for my part, in 1999, I decided to join the world's greatest Navy, the United States Navy as a reservist. Since 9/11, I've been on back-to-back deployments for 7 years, half of my daughter's life at the time, missing many of my daughter's first. However, this is common and nothing new for veterans. On June 5th, 2004, one of our greatest presidents, President Ronald Reagan, passed away. My commanding officer, knowing my background and love for President Reagan, asked if I would like to participate in a cross-country funeral procession come to known as Operation Serenade. I had the privilege of escorting his family as a driver and escorting his body to his final resting place. I currently have the honor of serving and working among heroes. I have laid to rest some of them and missed the laughs and times we shared in some of the most unbelievable of circumstances. If you've ever given or received a folded flag, you know the depth of its meaning. Since my enlistment in the Navy, I have aligned myself with an organization which shares some of the same core values of honor, courage, and commitment. The world's largest and greatest sheriff's department, the Los Angeles County Sheriffs, as a deputy sheriff. Our Navy core values easily roll off our tongue, but we will spend a lifetime, both on and off the battlefield, in and out of uniform, to live up to those values. I share this story with you because all of this could not be possible without the sacrifices of our veterans, both past and present. I have traveled and operated in over a dozen countries. In my opinion, there is no greater country which provides the opportunities that it does, the freedoms that we have, and even the opportunity to go ahead and hit that reset button to reinvent ourselves and make some course corrections in our lives. Today, we are celebrating Veterans Day. As a community, we remember and recognize all our veterans. The debt we owe to our veterans is immeasurable to repay. Never forget who pays the true cost of war. Not just those who gave the ultimate sacrifices, not just the physical wounds, but the invisible ones. Not just by our veterans, but by their families, friends, and supporting communities, because we are all connected. We train our men and women on how to wear the uniform, but we never train them on how to take it off. To do the things we have done, to see the best and worst in humanity, takes its toll. These are the shared experiences amongst those who have worn the uniform. It's those shared experiences, good, bad, or indifferent, that comes with the responsibility of wearing the uniform and serving this great country. We have fewer people than in previous generations that know what it means to serve, to sacrifice, everything if need be. But we still need to be able to honor, recognize, and remember those sacrifices of these brave men and women. To all my brothers and sisters who have worn the uniform, we could not be this great nation we are today if it wasn't for you. But I leave you today with one more challenge, one more mission, to continue to matter. At the end of our journey, make sure we matter to our families, our friends, matter to our community, matter to that young child who only needed someone to believe in them, to hear a kind word. We are highly trained professionals and with many skills and experiences. We know from those experiences ingrained to us in boot camp, words can destroy a soul or create legends. Let's matter and create legends. Thank you, and God bless you all. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you, Senior Chief Medrano. what a heartfelt and inspiring message. And it's something I wish you could remember every single word and go back and share with somebody you love, because there was a lot of great messages in there, so thank you. Now, I'd like to bring up Lieutenant Colonel Laurel J. Skinner with the U.S. Army ROTC, and Lieutenant Colonel Skinner will lead a swearing-in ceremony for future soldiers, giving us the privilege of being able to watch a new group of individuals make the commitment to enter into service into the United States Army. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor Perez, Senior Chief, distinguished guests, family and friends. What better time to do this than Veterans Day weekend at this ceremony, remembering all of those that came before us, but to now honor those that are going to come ahead of us, our future soldiers of tomorrow. So this is just an amazing opportunity. I appreciate the invite to be here today. So to all of you, to our recruiters, to Captain Conway, thank you for the invite. And what a special thing. So I'll make this quick, but this is extremely important, maybe one of the most important days of our young future soldiers' lives, is to take the oath of enlistment and then go off to basic training, which you're gonna love, and promise you. And it amazes me to see 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds stand up and raise their hand and say, I'm going to swear and support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that they'll be our true faith and allegiance to the same. It's amazing. I can't, I now serve around older people, but the younger generation is where the Army's at, and I have so much pride and joy for every single one of you sitting here. So the courage, the commitment that you're already showing by raising your hand today is worthy of a super applause from everybody. Thanks. All right, raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And that I will obey. The orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. All right, big round of applause.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Skinner, and to all who embark the most sacred duties. We appreciate your commitment and the path you have chosen. We will keep you and your families in our thoughts and prayers always. 14 just raised their right hand and made a commitment. Congratulations from everyone in Norwalk. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our ceremony. But I ask that you do not let this moment end, the moment that you're feeling. Whether it was seeing 14 young men and women make the commitment, whether it was hearing from our keynote speaker today and all those great words that he shared with us, whether it was handing out our banners and seeing the young people come and be acknowledged, and our young students reflecting in their memories. Don't let that feeling end, whether it's Veterans Day, Memorial Day, whatever day it is, we should always thank and honor a veteran. I ask that you please stand for the benediction, followed by the retiring of colors and God Bless America, performed by the All City Band.
Please uncover. Be gracious unto us, O God, and bless us. As we depart from this place, stretch forth your protection and guard our country, that we, being devoted to your service, may ever be defended by your power. Amen. Please cover.
Friends, this concludes today's ceremony. But before we go our separate ways, let us never lose sight of the meaning of this day. Let us focus our thoughts and energies around those things that have the power to unite us, like service and love of our country. Today and every day, when you thank a veteran, be sure to also thank their family. Show them how much we value their service to our country and the contributions to our society. Thank you to the American Legion, the Lions Club for their assistance with serving our refreshments today, and all of our dignitaries, but most of all, to our veterans. If now our veterans would come forward and join me on the other side of the memorial with City Council to take a group photo to remember our tribute and all for remembering what today is all about. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.